This is Comic Burrito. And
this week in comics. Even without Todd, I still managed to fuck it up.
Yeah. Also, I'm Cole.
And I'm Nick.
And this is This Week
in Comics.
This Week in Comics.
Yeah. We are Toddless as a parent. There's no Todd, so he's just dealing with something. So you're stuck with the two of us this week.
Two of us, yeah.
Just the two of us.
And as you can tell, we already messed up the intro, so hey, that's fine.
If Todd asks anyone, tell them we did a really good job, okay?
Tell them we nailed it.
Yeah, they were like, just be like, it was so good.
Nick was the first person here. He even beat me here, which is surprising.
I did, yeah. You were late because usually I got here at my normal time. What's up, Lost Comic Kid? And I got here at my normal time, and usually when I sign in, you guys are already like in the thick of it. Like it's like, have you guys been here for an hour? Whack. How's it going, buddy?
Welcome. Yeah, Animali Comics. Hey.
Oops.
No.
Clicked off that one. Animali. Hi. Did you get your order for your hoodie in? I think you did. Congratulations again. Sam. Hello, Sam. Sex, drugs, and burrito rolls.
Yeah. I mean, maybe even burrito rolls. I like those. That's good.
Oh, I haven't had a lettuce wrap in so long. Like a P.F. Chang's lettuce wrap.
I think he's talking more of like a taco version of that.
Okay. Well, either way, I love lettuce wraps. I like Jimmy John's lettuce wraps.
The unwich.
Yeah, the unwich. I love them. You get the crunchy lettuce on them.
Yeah.
They're good, but depending on what you get on it, sometimes you end up with a soggy bag. Nobody likes a soggy bag.
The only thing I don't like about those is occasionally it's not filling enough unless you get that like gargantuan for me.
Yeah, I forget what it's called, but I like the one with the hot peppers and
you get the Italian nightclub, maybe?
Yeah, something like that. You can order it with extra meat.
Also, Nat's here. I don't know if we.
Hey, Nat. Everybody's rolling in.
Oh.
Everybody's rolling in.
Welcome, What a Data by today, and insert names.
Insert
sorry.
Name
yeah, I mean, Nick's slightly mad at you, but I still love you.
I still love you, but I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah, he's not mad. He's just disappointed, but also
just very, very disappointed.
I've got nipples. Could you milk me, Nick?
I thought we had something special,
but all along it was just me.
So, all along you were just using me to get to Cole. It's fine.
So I guess we can get to comics, right?
It's not the first time. Yeah.
You actually purchased all of these today.
I did. I read it. I own it.
But this is Skull Digger and Skeleton Boy. This is issue number 5. It comes from the Black Hammer universe, and it's published by Dark Horse. It is written by Jeff Lemire, art by Tanchi Zanjic, and letters by Steve Wards. This is the penultimate issue of this, so it leads up to what's going to happen next. I mean, it's good.
This drives me crazy.
Oh yeah, well I think you have some A's and some B's in there too.
Yeah,
and maybe a C even.
No, I think they're all A, B, but this one issue has
the A.
Yeah, and I think all the other ones are the B's.
Because I have that one, but
drives me crazy. But that's okay.
Sam has never heard of it. I've talked about this at least twice, but to be fair, only 2 issues. This is the second time I've talked about it. It happened pre-pandemic. 2 issues has came out since. This is, if you know anything about the Black Hammer universe, it's a lot of superheroes. So this is the first like anti-hero story. So yeah, it's really good. I've been enjoying it. This is definitely a setup issue. It goes into Skeleton Boy's like backstory a little bit. There's like a cop in this, and him and her have some interactions that is pretty good. But yeah, I mean, overall, this is the issue before the last issue, and It could have been. I mean, it wasn't bad, but I mean, like, this didn't throw me away. If we weren't talking about more books, this probably wouldn't be on the list of books that I'm talking about now.
That's fair, but the whole the series as a whole is doing really good, and I probably should have. I got this from Meyer, which is a northern chain. I'm not sure where you're at, but just regular like Meyer. They're like a grocery and everything store.
He's in Canada, so I doubt they would have it there. Hey, what's up, Marshall?
But I'm sure it's a flash shirt that you could get anywhere. The only thing is the neck is a little tight. From what I like, my mom got me a Batman shirt from there that is like my favorite T-shirt. I wear it all the time. It has the older logo and kind of the speckled shirt, and I love it. And I was there, and they had more of those, and I almost bought another one, but I was like, I'll get a flash shirt, and this one I don't like as much.
Thanks, Nat. Also, hey James.
Hey James.
So,
but yeah, so back to this again. You said it's like you don't.
It's a great story so far, but like,
I don't need to be caught up in Black Hammer, right? Because it's kind of
not really. I mean, there's some world building here that like I don't know if it really crosses over, but they get into like some older, like even pre-Skull Digger
stuff
and
that maybe
Skeleton
can
Boy.
Go both ways though. Like when I catch
they get into like this guy was older. He did stuff behind.
Yeah.
Oh no, he did not get angry.
If he is angry, he did not confront us about it.
And it also made our top 10 videos. So apparently, Poser sleeping is more intriguing than we are.
We might have to do that more.
I mean, actually. Hey, who knows? Maybe we'll both fall asleep.
It could happen. It could happen.
So, did you read some books?
I read a couple books. I had a super busy day. We were like, as far as sales go, we were like twice as busy as normal, and I was basically the only person. I had another employee come in, but he was like in and out from some other stuff that he had to do. So this whole day was just a blur, and I felt like I got nothing done as far as comic reading goes. And then at the end of the day, it was like, oh, I read a few. And one of the first books I did read was Stillwater #2, which Stillwater #1, which is written by Chip Zdarsky, Ramon K. Perez, and Mike Spicer. The first issue was one of, I think, all three of ours. We had them all three. All three of us had it picked pretty high.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was in all of our top 3.
Yeah,
at least.
And this issue is still very, very good. I felt like the first issue, the first half didn't really set the tone. Like it's supposed to be a horror book. And it was like, I don't understand. Like it almost felt like a weird slice of life book where this is just a town where people can't die.
And one guy likes to fight.
Yeah. And just weird shit was going to kind of happen with it. And I'm like, where's the horror going to happen? And then the last couple pages, it was like, oh, okay. And this issue definitely expands more on that. But it definitely felt like an issue #2 where it was a lot more set up and kind of setting the stage. And it, like, I don't know, I felt like this whole issue could have been maybe the first half of the issue, and they could have done a little bit more with it. But I don't know, maybe Chip is taking his time with it a little bit and, doing a little more setup. It was still very good. I am still very much on board for Stillwater. I like a lot where it's going. Oh, now we can start. Wes, I picked Stillwater, and I
talked about Skull Digger and Skeleton Boy.
And Skeleton
and
Boy.
Also, Insert really likes the story so far. I still have not read this issue. When we both Nick and I both knew we weren't going to read a lot of books today, so we both tried to pick opposites of what we would read.
Yeah, because otherwise we were going to end up with like we both read the same 5 books.
Yeah. So
yeah.
The next book I read is Gideon Falls. So this is back-to-back Jeff Lemire books. This is Image, if you couldn't tell by the giant eye over there. Art by Andrea Sorrentino, letters by Dave Stewart, colors by Dave Stewart, and letters by Stephen Wards again. This is also the penultimate issue. I thought this was the last issue of this book, and I was like, I don't really know how this book is going to end.
See, I'm a little concerned now that that's such an early pick. Like I kind of that book I didn't pull it. I was pulling trades as they came out, and I was kind of hoping that like that was going to be like your book of the week because the ending was so amazing. Was it?
This is not the ending.
There's
one more issue. That's why, I said it's the penultimate issue again. So yeah, that's what I was going to say. I thought this was the last issue. Yeah. It's not. There's one more issue. This issue is up until the final page. You think that this is going to end in a way you don't necessarily want it to end, and then there's a final page revealed. It's like, LOL, there's one more issue.
Oh, that's cool.
So, I mean, this book has been great. There's really nothing wrong. I mean, obviously, once again, I probably wouldn't have picked this issue in my top 3, but I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing. Good night. Yeah, I mean, this book's been great. The art's great. I mean, the crazy thing about this book too is like, Stephen Ward's, they actually list him as designs in that, and like the only other book that I know that has been listed with a design has been like Spy Island, and I mean, this book is not what Spy Island is like that, but it has some of those crazy frames where it's like, it pretty much looks like here's shattered glass. In between the line of where the glass is shattered is something going on, and there's other stuff and all the like shattered.
Then there's stuff happening in the reflection of the glass.
Yeah, and so you get. I mean, there is, and this book is like beautiful, and I mean, it's going to be worth reading no matter what, even if it has a terrible end, just because a lot of books don't do stuff the way that this does.
Do you think it could end? Do you think it could end terribly at this point, or do you think it's just like set up so great that the last issue is going to be? I mean,
it's hard to say. I guess this book. I mean, this whole book
had a bad ending before. I don't.
I don't. I mean, not that I know. I haven't really. I mean, so this is. I mean, it's kind of like. I think it was. Man, I want to say it was Jared when we were talking to Jared Lujan. He was saying that he was reviewing books, and he said the hardest book to review, or we asked him what books he liked, and I think he said Gideon Falls, and I go, oh, well, what do you like about it? And he was like, this is such a weird question, because even as somebody writing reviews, I have no idea how I would review this book. I have no idea really how to talk about it. Like, I don't know, there's just so much weird going on. It's very like, there's a lot. I mean, it's kind of came together, but still, like, the final page reveals just like, what?
Right.
So
I see, and I was buying the paperback trades, and then I think I got to the second one, and I'm like, this is a book that I should be pulling, but it was already too late. Number 1 and number 2, the first few issues were already skyrocketed up. It was already a huge deal, and so then I decided I'm just going to buy the hardcovers and stop buying the trades. But I have only been able to find Spanish hardcovers.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll make hardcovers unless they're gonna do.
I mean, they made them in Spanish, so I don't know. It's weird.
I found them now, but it's like
I found 2 different Spanish editions.
Weird. I mean, but that's the thing too. If they're doing it different, I don't know. It's really hard. I don't know how companies do this stuff. So
yeah, well, I'll keep my eyes out for it because otherwise, I figured worst case scenario, I'll just bulk
check
buy
them out on Hoopla.
No, I'll just bulk buy the last trade papers if the last TP comes out and no hardcovers have been announced, then I'll just buy them all. But
Wes kind of said it. It's a hard book to review, and then I know Insert said that he would translate for you. So maybe you guys can become better friends while he's translating the Spanish book.
There we go. You come over and read it to me while I'm in the bath.
That's a true friend.
It is. Dead Day number 4 came out from Ryan Parrott, and oh boy, I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to hold it up there. I'm bad with names.
I'm not even going to try that. But I'm also bad with it.
I'll try it. Evgeny Bornikov, maybe?
That's sure. You picked better than I would have.
Yeah. Dead Day number 4. This issue I picked kind of early in my picks, but not because it was not good. I think this is, I think there's one more or maybe 2 more. And a lot of stuff started coming together with this. Some of the things that seemed like tangents are starting to come together. And I'm still really digging this book. In fact, it might be my favorite Aftershock book so far, at least. That Aftershock did a bad reception, didn't they?
They did.
All right, it might be right behind Bad Reception because I really like that book. But Dead Day has been really, really good. If you're unfamiliar, it's basically like The Purge meets zombies, where zombies come back for a period of time. Yeah, but they're not necessarily like brains, like it's actual people coming back. Yeah. So it's like the main story is a woman's like ex-husband who was murdered is coming back, and like she's remarried, and there's just all this other stuff that's going on that's not just it's not normal zombie stuff.
It's Day of the Dead more, so it's like closer to Coco than it would be to Walking Dead.
Sure.
I mean, it's good. I once again, I didn't read this issue because I knew you were going to read it. I think you like it a little bit more than me. I think it is I
like Ryan Parrott a lot too,
so. And I know Ryan Parrott, when he was on Lost in Comics, he had mentioned that depending on how this book goes, he has other ideas. So it kind of maybe like not going to be the same characters, which is kind of cool, but you get to see
it's the perfect setup because you have a story of like this guy coming back, and there's also like this weird cult thing that is going on in the background with different characters, and it'd be so easy to end this story arc and be like, okay, now here's another story about this lady, and here's her backstory and all this. I mean, it really offers itself to. I mean, I think you could get a solid 3 or 4 arcs out of it, telling different stories within the same universe. They don't even need to interact with each other. They could just be 3 or 4 separate things.
Yeah, they definitely are not. They are like, they can talk.
I
don't know. And I mean, I'm an issue behind if we've seen faces of them, though. So they might
in this one.
Okay.
You do in this one.
Maybe don't ruin that, but they,
Nope. This is not a spoiler, but the main zombie guy has like a biker's helmet on it on like the whole time, and in issue 4 he pulls that off, so that it's pretty cool. And there's a couple other faces that you do see. So Nat says here, I can click. There was something about Dead Day 1 that she liked. It's because it's different. There's a lot of zombie stuff out there. It's maybe a dead horse being beaten, but this is at least a fresh take. So even if it's not totally mind blowing, which I think it might be close to being that, it's at least something different and not just zombies are gonna eat me. They want my brains.
I was pretty cold on the first issue.
Cold.
And I think the second issue came out on like a weaker day, so I just grabbed it, and that second and third issue were pretty solid. So I think it's good. I mean, at this point, if you haven't gotten it, maybe you just go and get the trade.
Sure.
But buying it does help. But
it's Aftershock, and
I know that Ryan Parrott was saying that it kind of depends on sales on whether or not they're going to make more. But that's what it was.
So in that case, go buy the singles so that other people can buy the trades, and then there'll be more.
My next book is Devil's Highway. Did you? You didn't grab this. You haven't been reading it. Right?
I don't pull it. I got the review copy of number 1, and I haven't read it since. All AWA is just. It's going to be a bulk. I think for Christmas, I'm just going to buy
all of them.
The trades for myself.
I mean, Devil's Highway is AWA Upshot. Writer Ben Percy, art by Brent Schoonover, colors by Nick Filardi, and letters by our boy Sal Cipriano. Hotel is probably at this point my favorite AWA book. I think Old Haunts is pretty up there. It's not concluded yet, and I'm excited to see that. But this book has been definitely solid. I mean, Ben Percy is. I mean, they're getting Cullen Bunn on some books, and I think they've gotten some other bigger names, but Ben Percy is the biggest name, I think, at least in my. I mean, they have Mike Diodato Jr. For art, but I mean, I love
Nat.
I love this book too. It's been great. The main character is a badass, and this just shows her. I mean, once again though, these last 3 issues that I've talked about are all penultimate issues. And I mean, unfortunately, sometimes the bad thing is like, if I read more books also, this book might have not made my list. It's been great. But yeah.
So here's Wes's comment about pulling Hotel, which I did pull. And then Sam King says Year Zero. So Year Zero,
they're doing a second arc.
Yeah, the two, those are the 2 that I did pull that I don't need trades for, because I did pull those. I liked Year Zero a lot. And especially the covers, especially 2 specific of the covers, I really, really liked. But I kind of, for number 1s, I might have liked Devil's Highway even better than Hotel. But it's been so long since I've read them that, man, it's hard to.
Yeah, and I mean, comparing these 2 books, I mean, they're both completely different, but like Year Zero is different. Year Zero would be closer to a book like, I mean, it's not really like Dead Day, but it's like Dead Day, where there's a lot of stories intertwined into one story. Like Devil's Highway is just one book. Like, it's just one story with one people. I mean, you see other people here and there, but it's mainly like, I mean, it's like, it'd be like Batman. It's mostly Batman. Other stuff happens, but
Devil's Highway, at least number 1, the only one that I read, to me read like just a straight up like horror movie that would come like it's just that, where the other ones are, like I said, very good but very different, where that was just like they could just make that into a horror movie and it would probably do fairly well. I feel like it would be like one of those that would end up on Netflix fairly quickly, but there would be that core group of people that would just love it. What up,
welcome, bud. I think we're a mixed bag on Future State. Maybe, I don't know.
I am pulling Ram 5's Swamp Thing, and I am pulling one more because I thought
I wouldn't have gotten Dark Detective, but I'm gonna get it because Dan Mora is doing a Batman story, and I said I wish Dan Mora would do art on a Batman story. So
most of them are only like 2 to 4 issues, so I'm gonna grab a couple of them, but I am definitely not getting all of them.
I think Todd said he was going to begrudgingly buy every single one.
I think he is. I think he's gonna get all of them. And part of me wants to just wait and just buy like a Future State, like
omnibus
or collection or something. But I have to have that Swamp Thing. Ram wrote that Swamp Thing Halloween Spectacular. He had the first and last story of it, and they were the best part of that book. Besides, did Tynan have one? Maybe Tynan had one that I liked a lot.
I mean, he's been doing a great job at Justice League Dark too.
Yeah,
so I think he gets props for it. But
are we back to me?
Yeah, we are.
We're back to me. I was so excited because I was getting variants for a book that I probably should have been buying A covers for because they're worth a lot of money now, and the B covers for whatever reason are not. And then their second arc, they made the variants like incentive covers. And I couldn't get them because not enough people at our shop are buying them, that our shop is not getting them. And I wasn't going to pay $30 for an issue or more on some of them. But Something is Killing the Children is back to regular B cover variants. And this issue was very good. It was, I think, another setup that didn't go too crazy or too far, because this might be the first issue of a new arc, I think.
Ooh. Yeah, I thought the last one ended it, so.
Yeah, and this is another Jenny Frisian cover. James Tynan, speaking of him, wrote this one. And if you're liking this book, then you're definitely going to like number 11. And if you are crazy and have not been liking Something is Killing the Children, then you probably don't need to pick that up. You should probably just drop it, because it's kind of continuing on with what it's doing. I dig that there is this a spoiler to talk about the masks? No,
I did not read this issue. So
there's different color masks, and they don't necessarily get into why, but they are different, and there might be a reason that they are different. So there's, again, Something's Killing the Children. There's been a few issues that it feels like maybe not a whole lot happens, but there's all these little hints and things as to expanding what's going on with it. So I'm still very on for that book.
Nice.
And I'm so happy that because I saw this cover in previews and stuff, and it was like another awesome variant that I'll have no chance of getting. And then I got my stack of books when I got to the shop, and I'm flipping through, and I was like, and I asked Don, I'm like, "Is this more?" And he goes, "No, that's just regular B cover. So we ordered it for you because I knew you liked variants on that one." And it made me so happy.
When I saw that cover, when you were like, did your Twitter post of what you grabbed,
yeah,
you didn't mention anything about that. You just showed the cover, and I was like, oh, that's why Nick spent more money than me at the shop today. But yeah, nope.
Unless maybe, but no, as far as I know, it was just regular cover price on it. I can't imagine that he all of a sudden had like 20 people decide to start buying that book. But yeah.
Hey, Frank.
Hey, Frank. Did you grab him in prison?
Yeah, he was talking Green Lantern when we were on the feud.
Wait. Hold on. Insert. Are you talking about this cover or a different one?
I'm guessing the Frisian one. I don't know. It's probably a different one.
I thought that's what this was. Oh. I know this is a Frisian cover. I thought, but I know there's been several of them that. Well,
he was saying a 1 in 25. So if that's regular B, it's not.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could scan it in my CLZ, although I don't have my. Do I not have my cell phone with me?
Are we talking about Ghostface Killer? Because if we are, I think I can transition into this book, unless you still have more to say about something that's killing the children.
Just says Frisian on the back. It doesn't.
Oh, it's that one, but it's black and white.
Oh, that's cool.
Speaking of Ghostface.
Ooh, I got that. I didn't get a chance to read it yet.
Yeah. Dryfoot number 2. It is Mad Cave. It is our person we've had on our show twice before. Jared Lujan, Orlando Casito on art. Colors by Juanita Shadea. And I'm sorry that I'm butchering these names. And letters by another person that has been on our show a few times. Justin Birch.
If we mispronounce anybody's name and they would like to come on the show to correct us,
feel free
and belittle us for saying it wrong, please, you know where to find me. We'll set it up and you can come on and yell at us for a few minutes and say how dare you and how offended you are that we pronounced your name wrong. And then we'll probably try to get it right a couple times and then we'll go back to saying it wrong again.
Yeah. And welcome, Tara. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I mean, I've been loving Dryfoot. I mean, this is a good story. We got the early read on the first issue. So getting the second one, I've had to wait a little bit for it. But it just adds on to the characters. It adds on to the story that we've already gotten from the first issue. So, yeah, I'm really excited to see where this is going. It definitely is not gone how I thought that this issue was going to be, and like, thank you, Banana. My
dog's release word is banana, so that's just funny. Like, we hold the treat and tell her to wait, and then when it's time for her to go, we say banana, and then she goes. But so that's just a weird coincidence, I guess.
Yeah. Man, when we had him on, if you want, go back to some of our older episodes. We have Jared Lujan on and he talks about it, and he said some crazy stuff is going to happen in issue 3, and this issue 2 makes me a lot more upset. I mean, we had some off the screen predictions. This definitely changes my prediction of what I think is going to happen, and it might be a lot sadder for me.
Oh no.
But maybe for everyone else it's probably a good thing.
Okay.
Because I might have a weird favorite character in this book.
Oh, that's fair enough. He was great to have. We need to have him on the show again, which I know I've said before, but I want him on for, he needs to come on and promote Mexicans with Swords whenever that happens. Because I'm definitely pulling that. Did you order the second print, number 1?
I did, and that comes in next week.
Oh, I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure because I asked him to get it, he ordered some extra ones because I know you said that he had some.
Yeah, he sent me a message of like, hey, that second print that you had mentioned is available again. And it was like, yeah, definitely. I'll take it. Though he told me a couple weeks. So Maybe he ordered yours and then a couple more extra.
Yeah, I would. It's weird. It's weird. Our shop is. It's weird. They order stuff from certain companies. Like they were ordering pretty much every Mad Cave book, and I had asked about Villainous after we had Stony, and he was like, "Yeah, I can order it, but it's going to be like a week late." Like, okay. Seemed weird that you ordered almost every other book until this one, and maybe they're just not selling but as much in that shop. But I'm glad.
Hey, Justin.
Hey, I just talked about a book that you lettered. So thank you for doing that.
He said the letters were very good.
Yeah, the only critique, if they were in Comic Sans, they'd probably appeal to me a little bit more.
I don't know. A book that I don't believe that Justin did. No, he did not letter this. That I've been super excited about. And I went with cover C because cover C is the die cut. Cover. It's the die cut, but when you open up the die cut, it's cover A. So I figure if cover A is super, worth tons of money, I'll just rip this die cut off. And
it's gonna have a different UPC probably back.
Yeah, but I'll find some idiot that doesn't know any different, so it's fine. Although I think, hold on, you can separate this. It doesn't say because there's a UPC there, and then there's another one there, and I don't think they're. Oh, they are different. So if I need an A cover, I can make it. It's
a weird one, Boom, because I think when DC does it, they have those if you get any of the cardstock ones, they don't have anything like that. So
yeah, no, you can peel that back and it has it. But it is Dune: House of Atreides, written by Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson, who is part of the Herbert Foundation. They're the people that make sure that people get Dune correct. And Dune happened to be my best friend's favorite thing in the world, who passed away last year. And one of the things that I never got around to doing was reading his favorite book, because it's a pretty dense, crazy, but it's a hard read. It's some hardcore sci-fi stuff. And he even told me all the time, he's like, I know that the type of reader you are, it'd be very difficult read for you. So it wasn't like he was ever disappointed in me not reading it, but now getting it in comic book form and stuff, which the Dune itself is being released. This is a 12-part series, and this is the prequel. But starting next month, Dune itself is going to be released in a 3-part graphic novel series.
Oh, sweet.
And so if you're new to it or if you love it, the art wasn't maybe my absolute favorite. It's not bad.
Can you show me first page?
It's not bad, but yeah, there's your first page there.
Okay, show me second page then.
Yeah, that's not much.
That's not a great page to
I'll show you third page. I'll show you third page. It's pretty.
Oh yeah. I mean,
it's fine. It's not bad. It's good.
Yeah.
There's some cool stuff actually that there's some good stuff. It's there's a bullfight that's really cool, and it has some cool panels. Quick flash there. It's got some it's not just your standard boxes and stuff. They kind of move stuff around. So yeah, I really loved it. I love getting into it, and I'm gonna buy the graphic novels. I'm gonna buy all 12 of these, and I know there's other books, and I know that this book has already sold out last week. So if your shop still has some, you can grab it. If they don't, there's 2 covers for a second printing. I don't know if this is normal or not, but there's an incentive cover for the second printing. So if your shop orders enough second prints,
that is very strange. I don't know that I've ever heard about that before. Did you just read that, or did Don tell you that?
It's in. I was trying to find out how many issues there were, so I was on Boom's website reading all this stuff, and they had some press release from last week or something about it selling out, and they had both covers, which both look really cool too. But
we got some Comic Sans love in the chat.
But it's a good thing Todd's not here.
Yeah, it's a good thing Todd is not here to see that. So. Yeah, I mean that's crazy. I mean, I know too. One of them, the books that I really liked reading was House of Leaves. And I wanted to talk to somebody about it. So I gave to like my dad's wife and was like, "Hey, this is a really weird book, and I'm sorry, but you're the only person I know that reads a ton. So you just want to read this and let me know your thoughts, and we can talk about it later on." She was like, "Sure." And then she's like, "I didn't like having to turn the book around, and like I didn't like one of the guys was kind of a misogynist, but it was okay." Oh, interesting.
Okay, Sam. Sure. I read 20% of it like 2 weeks ago, and it was a hard read.
I mean, I don't necessarily think that it's not necessarily a hard read. It's just like a long read, and there's a lot of stuff. Like
there's a lot. It is a very dense. There's a lot going on, and yeah. And it's like if you were to try to fit like all of Star Wars and like extended unit, like they're just talking about like there's these different houses and these different factions and these different worlds, and there's this spice and there's these worms, and there's just like, it's just there's just a lot. And if you're an avid reader, my wife loves the books and she's reading them several times. I'm not a huge book reader. So it's harder for me to keep track. Although once I've read comics, or a lot of times I'll watch the movie first and then I can read through the book because I can picture the characters and see the scenes and stuff better. So a lot of times I fully plan on reading through this series and getting all the graphic novels for Dune and then reading the book again. Cause at this point, it's one of those that like I read through 20% in like a week, and then it just like I forget to read it, and then all of a sudden it's been 2 weeks, and I go to start again, and I'm like, I don't remember what was going on. So then I start over, and it's a never-ending cycle.
The process, yeah.
Yeah,
I know my wife kind of had some of those same issues. I have been trying to get her into some like graphic novels too, just to kind of help with that. But Frank had talked about he's here for the Scumbag and the Big Girls 3. So let me just put this up.
We'll talk. You can talk Scumbags first if you want.
My final pick of the week is Scumbag. It's Image comic, or The Scumbag. It is Rick Remender, art by Louis Lorsa. Sorry, that was really bad for me. Colors by Morno Dicino, and letters by Russ Wooten. Man, this book was awesome. Like for me, I mean, I loved it's funny because I'm reading this and like I'm thinking, I was like, man, what was that intro to this? Because I remember you had said you read the preview, you didn't really like it.
I read the synopsis and went, I'm going to skip this one. And then everybody was talking about how excited they were for it. So I dug and dug and dug until I found a review on like Sci-Fi Wire or some weird thing that had like a 9-page preview. And I read through all those 9 pages and I was like, And I mean,
I think the 9 pages were to show, hey, this guy sucks. And like, that's what it is. And then you get to that like next page or maybe the next 2 pages from there. Like, man, this book had me laughing like out loud reading a comic book, which I haven't really had since like Sex Criminals. I mean, this book to me is going to be a book that probably replaces Sex Criminals. I didn't necessarily love the art in this issue, but the artist is going to change. That may hurt it for me, but who knows? It could be okay. I'll just kind of show. It's weird. It's got this kind of like art where it's like, it's weird because it's like hyper realistic without being realistic. I don't really know how to explain that. Sure. But also, I mean, the main character is a scumbag who's always drunk or high or trying to get high. And yeah, it definitely has a very like similar to Sex Criminals. It has a very like low key sci-fi element. I call it kind of like the Kurt Vonnegut stuff where like, hey, you know, like the world is mostly normal, but there's that little extra thing in there. And I mean, there is, as he said, you get to see a man actually like diarrhea in a panel while like kneeling doggy style out of his butt.
So I'm pretty sure that the shop will have number ones next week, and I'll probably grab one. But
it's hard for me to say like you need to grab this or you don't need to grab this because like The hard thing is that the artist for me is going to change every single week. Like,
See, that might be my favorite thing about that was the thing that made me go like, ooh, but then it's also like, how long can they maintain that? Like, are they going to have to rotate back and go back to different artists? And I'm sure it's very offensive of me to say that I don't recognize any of the names in the big list of artists. But in my defense, I have not paid attention to artists for the vast majority of my comics, and most of the comics that I read, I probably can't tell you who the artist is. I follow writers a little bit more, but it, like, none of the names or anything really pulled me into it. But I am interested, and I might find myself over at our LCS tomorrow with like a $5 bill in my hand and just kind of like, all right, because I feel like I should at least check out like the first couple.
I mean, that's the thing. If you don't like this first issue, I would assume it's not for you. I laughed a lot. I would assume, Frank, you're in here. If you've read it, I assumed you laughed a decent amount in it. I mean, I think it's pretty hilarious.
Well, I'm trying to decide if, like, when I read those preview panels, I was already in a mindset of like, I'm not into this.
Yeah.
So like maybe I need to like just grab it and have it and just kind of wait and check it out another time when I'm in a different frame of mind or something. I don't know, because I read that it was when I read that it was a comedy, and I've been trying to get more horror and sci-fi type stuff and all that. And so when I read this as like a straight comedy, I was like, eh. And then I found the preview and I said, all right, well, if I laugh twice, I'll buy it. And I went through the preview and it was like, nope.
I did not laugh in what I assume is the preview.
All right. Well, then that's fair then. And maybe
I mean, this is the thing too. I would still say, like, talking about what the sci-fi element of this book is probably going to be like very spoilery. But if you want, like, after this, I can just tell you what it is, because I don't think it's going to necessarily ruin the story if you. Well, is it the tagline?
Like the because he's a scumbag on like a super drug, right?
Yeah. Kind of, I don't know. That's not. Yeah,
it's like super. Like he's the tagline is basically that he's a scumbag. He's like the most worthless human being in the world,
and he has to save the world.
But for whatever reason, he has the power to save the world, kind of a thing. Yeah. And in the preview that I read, I think I got the hint as to what that is and referencing maybe, but maybe
I don't think they referenced it in what you read.
Okay, there was something rolling down an alley.
That was like. He had bought some drugs.
Oh, okay. I thought that was the people fighting. Like that was where the serum came from or something.
Oh, well, maybe you read more than I thought you read.
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe the preview read weird.
There was definitely a woman fighting in a dress that revealed a lot.
Yep.
because of angles that she was standing and doing martial arts things, and it was like, oh, okay.
Hey, what's up, Tyler?
All right, so then my last pick is The Big Girls 3, written by Jason Howard, drawn by Jason Howard, and colored by Jason Howard, and maybe lettered by Jason Howard. I think Jason Howard is just doing it all in this.
I thought Nat had said that he does it, and it's a stop shop on him when she went live on whatever this weird Twitter live.
Yeah, I believe, and I love the back logos. This book is getting stronger and stronger for a number one that I loved a lot. But then also, I think I said before where it was like, I loved this, but I'm not sure how they can like, how is this an ongoing? Like, how are they going to keep going with this and make this big, overarching story and stuff? And that with 2 and with 3, it's like, okay, yeah, I guess you can really draw this out more and expand on Big Girls and Jacks. And if you're missing out on this book, basically there is a mutation that turns men into these ginormous, huge, evil monster things that destroy and eat people. But for whatever reason, females who have the mutagen just get really big. And the world is using big girls to fight against what is called Jacks. And it's the men who are destroying the earth. And if that sounds interesting to you, 1, 2, and 3 is now out.
Which is very funny because Shattered Glasses said that was one of the things that they missed, and they don't know if they want to backtrack. And I think you like loosely just said you should. I know that was one book that I thought it was on my pull list, and I kind of forgot about it. Hopefully, there's some on the shelf because I didn't grab one. But
just 3, or you need 1 and 2?
Oh, just 3. I've had 1 and 2.
I think I saw a couple of them for sure.
Yeah, it was one of those books where I wasn't really thinking about it when I like grabbed everything. And then when you mentioned it, I was like, I don't think I have that one. But who knows? Maybe I even do have that one.
Maybe I had like 3 books this week that were supposed to be on my pull that like they handed me the stack and I knew it was going to be a smaller stack that I was going to be adding a lot to, but I'm going through and it was like, wait a minute. Especially with having A and B for Batman and A and B for Something's Killing the Children. And I feel like, what was it? They had missed, funny enough, they pulled Harley Quinn for me, even though I never asked for it, but I did. Well,
it's probably because you said that you pulled all the other ones.
I did pull all the other White Knights, so it was like, oh, cool. I didn't have to ask for that, but they missed Justice League, which is the third. I think there's been 3 tie-ins for Justice League, and they have missed for Metal, yeah, and they have missed all 3, but I've gotten them off the shelf. Dryfoot number 2. I thought it was funny that they didn't have it in my poll because I just talked to them about getting the second print for number 1, but I grabbed, I think, the last one off the shelf of that. And then
I stop you for 1 second though.
Yeah.
Before we talk about this, I think we need to do a reveal for everyone. Because starting tomorrow, we're going to be having some videos drop every single day.
That is true.
And maybe I'll give you guys
Comic Burrito all day, every day.
I'll give you guys a preview of what it is.
Ooh. Spooky. 10 days of Halloween. So we're going to have an issue every day, an episode every day. That we're going to, I think they're 10, 15 minutes.
Some might be 5 minutes, but we're not going to rock anything more than 15 minutes. We each pick 3 books that were Halloween or spooky based.
Yeah.
And then we all rated them, and then we put them in the order of how we rated them.
Well,
I think there was it was
a much more extensive process than that. We each picked like 5 books and made a master list, and then from the master list, we each picked like 2, and then from the remaining list, we started knocking books out.
So if we've kind of like during our live streams, we might have mentioned that we've been working on something. I might have said it's spooky. This is what it is. So yeah, I mean, there has been. It's been a very long, 2 to 3 months that we've been doing this slowly, just so that we can all read it. Because I mean, there's a lot of stuff that we haven't read. I picked a book that was kind of a bigger book and took a lot longer to read because that's the kind of person that I am. But hey, it's been fun.
You also purchased said book for myself and Todd for our birthdays and sent it to us so that we didn't have to buy said book, which was awesome.
So I think it's going to be pretty fun. Who knows? The stash is probably going to come and go. I know that we tried to not wear the same shirts. We're all going to be in weird directions. Our hair, like Todd sent a picture from the very first one we did, and it's so crazy to look at like Todd's hair especially and see how much has grown in like a very short period of time.
It's going to be good though. I like it, but yeah, it's not necessarily like our top 10 best most favorite horror books ever. It's just kind of a random pick of 10 really good ones.
Yeah, and I'm obviously the worst person on the podcast, so I pick stuff that people like have never read before.
Well, I really liked it because we had 10 total, and I think of the 10, I think I had read 3 of them, which were my picks before. Yeah. There was 3 that I had picked, and those were the ones I had read, and then I got to read 7 new books that I hadn't read before. So,
and also, too, like guys, if you want to drop your picks of the week so far from what you read,
we gotta get into that.
Comment, let us do it.
If we missed,
you want to go back to what you were talking about the books. I just wanted to drop that.
That's good.
Here that this is going to happen. It's going to. I think I looked. We're dropping it at 1:15 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow. But those will be ones you can come back and rewatch.
Which, if I'm not busy at work, hopefully I'll be able to, I'll try to jump in and live chat during the release. I like to do that, but yeah, it doesn't count if it's books. Like, I got this whole stack of books that I haven't read. I didn't get a chance to read Batman 101, which I almost forgot because I couldn't.
That was my next read because I knew you probably weren't going to read it, and I was gonna hope that Wes was right when he said this is gonna redeem.
I paid for my books, and then if you heard my original total, you have to add $4 to that.
Oh,
because I paid for it, and he Andrew bagged them all up, and then for whatever reason, I have no reason to go, wait, Batman was in that, right? But I did. I was like, we got Batman, right? And he flips through, and he's like, no. And I looked over at my pile of books of that because he gives me the whole stack. He gives us the whole stack, and we pick which ones we want. If there's A and B covers, and then he gets the stack to put back. And sure enough, Batman was right on top. So I put it on the wrong pile. I'm on Batman for one more arc, and if the Tiny Onion does not blow me away with this arc, I'm gonna drop and just read on DC Universe. But I'm really excited. I might read Robin King first. Bye, Nat.
Oh, I also got a Robin King.
I might read that first, or I don't know if I need. Maybe Wes can help out if he's still here. Wes, do I read? Which one of these do I read first, or does it not matter?
Man, I like for the death metal stuff. Of which I got Justice League.
For a guy that's dropping DC.
One.
For a guy that's dropping DC.
Oh, speaking of that book, I got that one too. I mean, I got two other DC that you don't. I don't think you should.
I got.
They're remnants of the Joker War, Catwoman, and Nightwing. I mean, I like Catwoman.
Family Tree.
Catwoman is Ram V, so I also got Family Tree.
Yeah,
I don't know. Family Tree is probably a book that I might.
Is drop Chaos? Are you still watching? Because we gotta talk about this too, Chaos. If we talked about
Chaos,
it,
I got a Marvel book today.
We talked about this last Saturday. We had a great conversation that I totally remember having. And you had said that you had number 2, but didn't have number 1. And they had the B cover that read in any order. Thank you, Wes. We can read them in any order. In case Chaos is still watching, I don't mind keeping the B cover if you can find it, or if you don't need it, or it's easier to find. But if you are having trouble finding it, I will definitely give it up and send you this book. So just let me know. Because it's one of my favorites, and I've already found and shipped out like 2 other copies to people of number 1s that they couldn't find because for whatever reason 2 shops in our town still had a couple copies.
I don't know what Comic Hub is. I've
heard of that.
League of Comic Geeks, and then I use like CLZ for like what I have.
Yeah. What's the other one?
League of Comic Geeks. I think I've showed it to you before, but it's what I use for pulling. And if you watch Poser's list, he shows it. I can just kind of show you, but the one thing that's nice is I have it on my phone, so I can go to pulled issues, right? And it just kind of hey, these are the books that you pull. And
is that an app or a website?
Both. So it's just hey, these are the books that you
not here. Damn it.
But yeah, it's fine. I mean, it's fine. I've noticed it gets buggy and weird.
The smaller guys, because that's my problem. I usually go to previews.
It'll have them on there. The only thing that gets weird is when I look at it on my phone. I picked it up, dude. I showed that.
Yep. I was going to pick it up because it's only a 4-issue arc, and then I remembered that I have Marvel, and I'm gonna Marvel Unlimited, and I'm going to re-up on it because they are switching to when a book is 3 months old, it'll be available on Marvel Unlimited. So being able to, I'm probably going to jump into some Marvel stuff. I won't be able to talk about it necessarily on Wednesday streams because I will be 3 months behind. Thank you, Nat. I thought you were going to bed, Nat.
Yeah. What the hell? Why are you ratting us out?
Yeah. You're supposed to tell Todd we did a good job.
Yeah. I mean, we also picked a few more books and hey, we're both, I think, going to maybe not talk as much afterwards on the stream. So maybe we're just going to, talk to you guys a little bit.
We usually try to do an hour. We still got 5 more minutes.
Yeah.
Ongoing Ninjas and Robots 2. Now that she's gone.
Yeah. Which is funny. That was like a weird thing I recommended and never got because it's like a Keen Spot, which I don't know. That I assume they're like British or Australian.
Oh, my phone's right here. It was under my mask. I have a great, now that Nat's gone, although Wes is still here, I do have a great Palm Beach County, Florida combat COVID mask that my mother-in-law left us when she was up visiting. So I've been representing Florida at work for the past couple weeks.
Also, I don't think Sam ever really told us what Comic Hubs is, but hey, whatever. We'll figure it out. Maybe leave it in a comment. If you guys haven't already, smash that like button. Please do.
Oh yeah, we got.
Unless you don't like us, if you don't, you can give us a thumbs down. Just maybe leave a comment on how we can improve our show for you guys.
Unless it's like less Nick or something like we.
I mean, if it's less Nick, let us know. Maybe we'll consider that. We probably won't.
I mean, maybe I will.
We'll just randomly put Nick on timeout every time, like, once we get to 1,000 subs, and you can super chat us, like, hey, super chat us, and we'll put Nick in timeout for you.
I told you guys on our private chat today that, like, if a situation like last Saturday happens, to just either boot me, or what I think would be great is if you guys just like clicked mute. And I didn't even I didn't realize I was on mute, and the whole time I'm just like, whoa, 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 whoa.
I kept doing that to Poser, but he kept finding out.
Yeah, see, I although now that I thought of it, maybe I would, but I'm like, why is nobody responding to me? Comic Hub is a service that shops can use to yeah, that's what I've heard. It's like it's a service that. So Wes, am I right that like I would then sign on to it and say what books I want pulled? And then it would automatically go in, and the shop would see that I want it pulled. So it's just so I don't have to call them or message them and say, add this to my pull, right?
We're working on getting something up, I think. But if you're very interested in one,
if you join our Discord,
which you're already on our Discord, so if you want to drop us, DM us, we can probably get you one and let you know what they cost and everything like that.
Well, they vary a little bit depending on the style and type, because you can literally get pretty much any style and type of hat that you want. But they are about $25 plus shipping. And like I said, some might be a little cheaper, some might be a little bit more, but you can either send me a message on Twitter or join our Discord, which we can probably drop a link in real quick.
Yeah, I can quickly grab that. And yeah, guys, we are actually one sub off of 300. And I'm going to guess that once we're getting to 300, we're probably going to do some sort of a weird, like, live stream giveaway, and hey, maybe we'll include some like sort of a merch for somebody.
He's doing hats, he's doing we're doing shirts, hoodies. I mean,
we have some stickers too, so if you want one of some of those, let us know.
We're gonna have masks soon.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the masks.
Comic Burrito masks. And if you have a channel that like you do stuff on,
yeah, we can hook you up.
Trevor's the man, and he can get you some sweet merch. Or if you just have a really cool idea for a shirt that you want, he'll do it up.
Yeah, and go back too if you watch our last live stream, we actually had him on.
It's like buying something from Teespring, only it's not like a faceless corporation that just rips up, actual copyrighted stuff. Like he does his own thing, so it's cool. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, hit me up. That's the end of commercial.
But yeah, I mean, I think we should be dropping some Halloween stuff. We still have our Saturday.
Saturday's going to be fun. We got Nat coming on Saturday. There's a huge Kickstarter that I shared recently. That's like an anthology book, and David Pepose, who we've had on the show, is going to be back to talk about that. Pepose? I knew I'd do it wrong. We even talked about
pepperoni.
Pepose. He's probably going to be coming back, and a whole bunch of other people are wanting to come on the show to talk about this really cool anthology horror book that's going to be coming out.
Team Red Hat. I don't know. He's going to have his wife get him a hat like mine. Sweet.
It's like the red shirt, but it's
yeah.
So yeah, we got some cool stuff coming up for sure.
Yeah. So,
and if you want to be on the show, then just like the hats, shoot me a message on Twitter or Facebook or on here or something, and we'll figure it out. Even if we've had people on to talk just about their favorite comics, you don't have to be a creator or a store owner or anything. Just if you love a book that you don't have anybody to talk to about it, we'll talk to you about it.
Yeah, just hey, maybe let us know about it and we can try and read the first trade if we haven't. If
I'll
something real out there. I mean, I don't know. We've read a decent amount of stuff, but sometimes we might miss something. So
that's some of my favorite stuff has been stuff that somebody was like, I love this. And it's like, I've never heard of that. And then you check it out and it's awesome. There's a lot of great comics out there.
There are.
So, age limit for the guests of your stream. I would say there's not an age limit, but if there's going to be a youngin, then just let me know ahead of time so that I don't, have too much and don't make it myself.
I think Beard is making a joke right now, but understandable. I mean, we might need parental consent to have small children on. I don't know if consent was the best word for it.
Yeah, maybe not. But yeah, well, definitely, yeah. You don't just like go to the park and film people. Like,
yeah.
I've had my kids on briefly.
Yeah, let us know. Yeah, I mean,
Saturdays.
I'm the only one who does not have a child on the show.
Saturdays are great to jump on for you normies like us.
Yeah.
Especially later on in the evening. Sometimes we're not even live anymore, and we still talk for an hour or two, and we're doing this. It's just not live. So,
but I think since Todd's not here, somebody's got to do it. So maybe it's time to wrap this one up.
Yep.
It's been about an hour. So yeah, I'm Cole.
I'm Nick. Thanks for getting wrapped up with us.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do this again because I like it, and I just want.
This has been This Week in Comics.
This Week in Comics.
YouTube show. This Week in Comics.
Oh, yeah. And just because it's got to probably be there. So thanks for showing up, guys.
Oh, that's great.
And cut.